Hey friends, hi, good evening. We were discussing about CRISP MLQ, Cross Industry Standard Process for Machine Learning with Quality Assurance. Till now, we discussed business understanding and data understanding. We discussed data pre-processing. We discussed model building and tuning. We talked about model deployment. Now, model evaluation we talked about. Now we'll be talking about model deployment. That's the fifth stage in CRISP MLQ methodology or CRISP MLQ project management methodology. Now, what we do in model deployment? Now, first of all, the question that arises, why is deployment necessary? Now, we want to deploy our model to make sure that people or the customers use it. Our ML model basically is usable now. Now, what we want to do here, first of all, whenever we are making the model, once the model is ready, once the model is tested, we test it on the test data. What we do is we save the model first. Once the model is saved, of course, after training on the complete data, we need to save the model. Hyperparameter tuning we train the model on the complete data and then save the model. Once the model is saved using Pickle or Joblib, we can use the same model and deploy it using Streamlit or Flask. In general, in industry, we use Flask. Streamlit is also an option, but again, it's easier, but at the very same time, Flask is more useful. Now, talking about the deployment itself, here we need to expose via API. Of course, we can use Flask, etc., and connect it with using REST API. At the very same time, we need to make sure that we are using containers and we are using Kubernetes, for example, for scalability. We are using cloud infrastructure, for example, AWS or Azure ML, etc., for scalability too. Again, all these things are very, very important, right? Once you deploy the model, it will be available for the user. And when we deploy the model, we have to make the user interface in such a way, the UI we call it, it should be made in such a way that it covers each and every department, or for example, we're talking about stakeholder of that particular project. They should be covered. They should be able to see what is happening in the model here and how the particular project is useful for them too, right? So this is what we generally do in a deployment. Right. So thank you so much for your time, team. Tomorrow we'll talk about monitoring and maintenance. That just goes a bit further after